Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another week of Nexus Grain Market Updates. It is Tuesday morning on the 25th of August. And let's just get to the markets here at Nexus Cooperative. Bids here are $4.57 to $4.59 for a bushel of old crop corn. That's up 1 penny right now. New crop corn is $4.68 to $4.71. That's about steady on yesterday's market. Soybeans, $11.85 for old crop soybeans. That's steady. And new crop soybeans are $11.52 to $11.55. That looks like that's up about a penny versus yesterday's markets. Everything that I just showed you this morning on a 2-week basis, corn is up 50 cents a bushel for both old crop and new crop corn. Old crop corn continues to track versus the September old crop corn. New crop corn is tracking versus the Dece. Both of those are up right at about 50 cents a bushel. Soybeans have been tracking versus the November, both in the old crop and the new crop. Old crop up 75 cents in the past 2 weeks. New crop up 47 cents in the past 2 weeks. I'm going to pause here just for a minute and again just kind of reflect on the carrying charge versus the discount market. Obviously, what we have built into our market right now in the corn market is a carry. The Board of Trade right now is carrying about 60 to 70% of the cost of carry right now versus interest and commercial storage rates. Soybean market, on the other hand, is different, certainly inverted with the 11.79 versus 11.46. Particularly when you look at what has occurred in the past couple of weeks with old crop beans being up 75 cents, new crop soybeans only up about 47 cents, both being bid off of the November. Always remember two things. There is a limit to the amount of carry that can be bid into any market. There is no limit to the amount of invert that can be bid into the market. And to put plainly, in times of plenty, there's always going to be a certain amount of interest that's borne by the investment community. That's our carrying charge. In times of scarcity, which is soybeans right now, the state of Iowa is in a place where we're going to be down very, very, very low on stocks by the time the combines hit the field. The market knows that. The market feels that. We're in a place right now where there's a very, very steep invert with the commercials, what they're paying locally for today versus later. I believe that invert could probably even steepen. So if you're in a place where you do have some old crop soybeans and you're in a place where you could do a cash direct contract into an end user, give us a call. You may be surprised at what those could be worth. All right, so let's just kind of get to some of the S&Ds, and I know this is perhaps a little bit of old news with the Pro Farmer Tour, but what I will do is I want to back up a minute and give everybody kind of a sense of where we came from and where we're going. All right, so this is where we came from. The crop that we're consuming right now. Last fall, national yield 186.5. Very, very high yield. A trend line for this year is 183.8. All right, so again, almost 3 bushels per acre greater than trend line last year's yields. This year's yields, about 3 bushels less, 180.7. That was the latest USDA number. The Pro Farmer number that came out, the 173.2, that was actually published after the market closed on Friday. Between what occurred Sunday evening, Sunday morning, and into Monday, it would have been Sunday evening, Monday morning in the wee hours, basically in the overnight trade, and into Monday, that only affected the market by 7 cents. And I've already said that the market's up 50 cents in the past 2 weeks. The December corn market, the December market closed at 508.5 on the 21st, and we closed at 515.5 on the 24th. So always bear that in mind, that the effect of what occurred here isn't quite what everybody really thought it was. Got a lot of media hype, but the bottom line is you have some other things that are governing our market right now, and the greatest of which is we probably do have a reduction in our corn yields versus the last USDA estimate of 180.7. I've dropped my number about a bushel and a half, which is very significant anyway. We do know that in some places we've had an exceptionally wet August. Not helped us out. We do know that we've had an exceptionally hot July, particularly west of the Missouri River. You've heard me say that before. That's not helped us out either. Those are the two greatest contributors to what is going to put pressure on our corn yields for this fall. Soybeans, not really a story. Soybean market, we're working off of a 53 bushel per acre yield last year. 52.7 is what was predicted by the USDA Pro Farmer, 53 and some change. Really, any way you stack it, our soybeans probably go from a this year 7.5% stocks to use ratio to maybe 7% next year. By the way, stocks to use ratio could be as low as about 10%. If you want to listen to Pro Farmer, 9.6 going into next year. So that's really the synopsis there. Export sales report actually is pretty good. We have had a couple of things I want to talk about, and I know I'm jumping around somewhat, but I'll start off with the export inspections. Export inspections report from yesterday. We have 1 week remaining in our export season, and as things stand right now, the United States is going to export about 3.6 and some change billion bushels of corn. Last week's number was 51 million, and we're 6% ahead of our USDA estimate. So very, very good corn export season. Soy export season, we're still ahead of pace by, from our prediction, we're ahead of pace by about 2%. We're on track right now to export 1.55 billion. Really, there's nothing that could happen that's going to change that a lot. I want to go back and revisit an old story, and I'm going to repeat myself again. This year, China's on pace to export, we are on pace to export to China 454 million bushels of corn. That compares to 825 the year before. So to put it another way, and I've said this a lot, the difference in the bushels that China bought this year versus the year before, the amount they didn't buy from the United States exceeds the 320 some odd million bushel carryout. This is a very significant number. I will go as far as to say that in the upcoming year, we are likely to see China back in for somewhere around 600 and some odd million. That's my number. I believe that we will see some recovery in our export program with China. And I also believe, again, the market believes that as well. With our new crop beans up 47 cents, I believe that that is at least worth another 50 to 65 cents in our bean market. I believe that soybeans could certainly be worth 12 bucks at some point in time in the foreseeable future, probably over the winter, perhaps even into spring. So I'm going to let that rest for now. Export sales not looking too bad. And what I really want to talk about with export sales is the 26-27 export season. Both corn and soybeans, as far as our rank in the past 6 years, this year included, we rank number 3 in the amount of total export sales that are on the books for the upcoming season. So we're getting a really good start for the 26-27 export season. I'm not going to do a deep dive into the numbers, but that's where the rank stands right now. We rank number 3 out of the past 6 years. So we're starting out really pretty good. One of the things that is also going on, and I've showed some of our outside clients this. I'm gonna put up a slide. I want you all to look at this right now. This is the latest image of an El Nino. It's not getting a lot of talk. It's not getting a lot of press. It really doesn't sell advertising, but this is a very significant phenomena with sea surface temperature anomalies in the equatorial region of the Pacific Ocean. That is what you're looking at right there, is a classic El Nino. What does that really do is up for debate. But I will tell you that we are entering the planting season in South America, and we do have major disruption in a weather pattern. So both of those things are somewhat bullish. Again, market also believes that. So bear that in mind. Last thing I want to mention is 27th of August wraps up the open and PLC grain at Nexus Cooperative. So if you haven't heard from an originator, you should be by now for sure. Just be aware that all open and all free PLC will end on the 27th. Choice of either selling that grain or putting it in under a paid PLC agreement. So that's really what I have today. And enjoy the nice weather. It's cooled off a little bit, and get a chance, stop in and see one of us. We'd love to see you. So thanks a lot for the business. And by the way, we have plots coming up too. So we'll see you in a plot either tomorrow or Wednesday night. So thank you very much. Goodbye.